Hey Crushers, Young here bringing you a new Crush Them All video sponsored by Godsy Lab. Today's video is going to be covering Lycan and the Halloween 2020 update. As a reminder, my personal Discord server is open to the public. The link is in the description below this video. Now I will stress that this is not a Heroes Magnified video. Lycan is brand new, so this is more of a let's take a look at this new hero together. And he may prove to be better or worse than anticipated. There is a high chance that he'll be covered in an additional video in the future, so subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. That way you can catch that video and all my other videos as they come out. And while the main focus of today's video will be Lycan, we will also be taking a speculative look at Serif towards the end of the video. Because of that, I'd ask you to watch the video through the end so we can take a look at that as well. So let's jump on in and take a look at Lycan. He has several cool features. So first off, he is an epic Earth Brawler hero. He is male gender. He has a couple base abilities, which are Wounded, Lifesteal, and the Brawler ability Hit Combo. So we'll look at each of those abilities a little more in depth in just a moment. But first, let's flip the hero card over. So his 2-star ability is called Wolf Combo, which we'll get back to in just a few minutes. His 3-star ability is called Wolf Rush, which sends a pack of wolves out dealing damage to enemies and healing random heroes, which sounds pretty similar to Vlad's Bat Swarm ability, which also has a 45-second cooldown. Finally, he has a 4-star ability, which is a team buff attack per second ability, increasing the attack per second of Earth heroes on your team. We're going to spend the next few minutes breaking these elements down and discussing what makes him good or bad. We'll also discuss how he ranks for PvP overall based on these abilities. So let's start with the basic stuff. Lycan is an epic rarity Earth Brawler, which is okay. The other epic Earth Brawler is the Blitz hero Claudette, and let's just say that on the surface her medals are going to be considerably easier to come by. So why am I bringing this up? Because the most efficient way to get medals for Lycan will be by grinding for them in the daily dungeons. You guys are familiar with that? That's this area right here. This is the most efficient way of getting medals for him. Whereas Claudette medals can't come from this source. In order to get her medals, you'll need to spend flues to get her medals from her Blitz chest. Event heroes and Blitz chest heroes can't have magic medals used on them, so you'll be unable to spend magic medals to get the medals for these heroes. Meaning, if you want a 7-star Lycan, you're going to have to put in a lot of work on the Earth Daily Dungeon. That's a pretty big commitment to make, and most players prefer giving a hard focus to Dark or Fire dungeons because of the heroes present in those pools. Going back to Lycan, being a brawler means that he has access to the Hit Combo ability, which is okay. But again, not the best, because most players run heavy Earth tanks, namely Gladiator and Leafblade. So on the surface, it wouldn't sound like he would be well worth it, but he does have a few other abilities worth taking a hard look at. So we'll jump into the first and best ability of Lycan, which is Wounded. Now, Wounded increases the damage taken by the target, which sounds okay, kinda cool. What does it do though? We'll flip Lycan over and look at his 2-star ability, Wolf Combo. Wolf Combo causes Wounded, which increases damage taken by 50% for 3 seconds, and this increases up to 100% at 7 stars, meaning this ability improves with stars. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Very small window for not a very big effect? Wrong. It is huge, because any damage that enemy is taking from your other heroes is immediately increased in addition to whatever DPS you're actively doing with Lycan. Meaning you can quickly take down big beefy tanks and start clawing your way into the enemy backline. MrMoogle and Flocke have both expressed that they believe that Lycan should be built to inflict as much wounded status as possible and shouldn't be built for DPS himself. They recommend Vitality, Nimble, and either Swift for more attack per second or Resist for better survivability. The bottom line is that this is going to be a really unique hero regardless of the build. Flipping back to the front of the card, we can see that Lycan also has the Lifesteal ability, just like Vlad and Pinky. What does Lifesteal do? Well, it increases the survivability of Lycan. The longer he lives, the more DPS buffing he can do with his wounded effect, and makes him more viable as a PvP contender. We want that, so that's a good thing he has that. Going back to the back of his card, we'll see that he has a 3-star ability. Wolf Rush, as mentioned, is the same as Vlad's ability, which is okay. It shouldn't be used in most cases, in my opinion, as there are better ultimate attacks for the modes that use those ultimates. Yeah, that's okay. Far more interesting than that, however, is the 4-star ability, buffing Earth heroes' attack per second. This buffs his own and other Earth heroes' attacks. Why is this good? Well, if you choose to go hard on Earth daily dungeons, then you're going to get medals for other Earth heroes. Namely, you're going to get your Misty maxed, which mine is hiding right here. You're going to get Misty maxed long before you get Lycan maxed. Misty is going to be featured in an upcoming Heroes Magnified video, but the short version is that she is an Earth DPS AoE gunner and packs a big punch when built up for damage. Thorne is the other strong DPS hero that you'll likely max long before maxing Lycan as well, since you can use magic metals on her, and she is also available in the Groovine Crusher chest. These are 2 DPS-centric heroes that bring a lot of firepower and directly benefit from having Lycan in the lineup at 4, 5, 6, and 7 stars. Another hero worth mentioning, while traveling down the road to a 7-star Lycan, is Pumpkin. Now, this barbarian directly offers buffs for other Earth heroes, namely Earth poison teams, and also benefits from having Lycan in the lineup. So lots of Earth synergy and strong Earth team potential all around from these heroes. Although well-built event heroes like these are rare these days, the release of Lycan may lead to a rise in usage of some of these other heroes as players work toward getting Lycan to 7. And so now we're going to circle back to the real question. Is Lycan worth it? And objectively, yes. I'd say if you want to aim for a 7-star Lycan, and you're willing to commit to the journey involved to make that happen, then yes, he is absolutely worth it. What he brings to the table in terms of DPS for Earth is massive, and shouldn't be underestimated. Since he doesn't use magic metals or flues, you can safely use those resources on other heroes and pools that you need, like Scud, Gladiator, Vlad, Namada, and so on. Speaking of Scud, and this shouldn't come as a surprise to you, he just so happens to be the best counter in the game for Lycan, in conjunction with Monkey King for his stellar ability to cause stun, and if Lycan is stunned, then he can't inflict wound. Use these 2 heroes together to help mitigate enemy Lycan threats. And now, moving on to other elements and aspects of the Halloween update and event, we have the usual Halloween packs. If you're a paying player, you can see those right here. These more expensive packs don't change whatsoever and are merely scaled for convenience. So Pack Halloween scales directly up into Super Pack Halloween. These packs offer guaranteed Lycan, Pumpkin, and Cersei medals, as well as these Halloween chests that I've been opening with the coins that I've got saved up. Now, the Halloween chests do offer a chance at getting these hero medals, but in addition to that, they also give you consumable candies, which are highly valued by guild raid boss attackers for their buffs, like the Candy Frenzy. Great consumable right there. While mentioning this, I would like to just give a quick blurb reminder to do your 30 death daily dungeons daily. That's this guy right here. You are capped at 30, so make the most of it. And this is where continuing staging helps out, as you'll have the prisms needed to do higher dungeon levels. You can get all the way up to death 40, which you're seeing currently. So now that we've covered that stuff, we can swing back over to our hero collection, and we can take a look at Serif, the new dual element crusher. There's the crusher tag right there. Now, Serif is the first dual element hero in the game. She deals light damage primarily, unless the target is light, in which case she'll deal dark damage. We'll be taking an in-depth look at her in an upcoming video, but on the surface, she should be providing a strong DPS hero to the late pool, making a good counter for Skeleton Giant, Chaos, and Ornok. Currently the only real DPS hero for light is Tesla, and she's incredibly difficult to build. Since Serif is a crusher, it should be much easier to acquire medals for her, and her base range is pretty decent too. Not to mention, she's a flying archer, so she'll be staying out of range of most AoE attacks by default. And I'd love to hear what you think of Serif in the comment section below. Now, as I come into the conclusion for today's video, I would like to give special acknowledgement to Medivh for making the thumbnail for today's video. I'd like to thank the Discord users who helped contribute to this video. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge MrMoogle, Flocke, and viewers like you. Thanks for supporting this channel. We have a new patron I'd like to give a shout out to as well today. Thanks to PC for your financial contribution to this channel. I appreciate your donations, and I'll include that in the comment section below. Those of you who are interested in donating to this channel can find the link for my Patreon in the description below. And finally, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who take the time to make it this far into each of my videos. Your continued support is the reason I do this. So thanks for watching.